QAD here with a QAD HDX Ultra Rest, and we're going to show you how to replace a cord. Here we go. The basic tools you're going to need is your rest, a knife, some Allen wrenches, a lighter, and maybe some pliers. So let's focus on this. Here we have the rest, and we got to figure out how to get this doohickey off right here. So it's not plain sight, but right in here, there's a little screw, and we got to use our Allen wrench to get that thing out. All right, so I think I'm in there. Feels like it, and I'm gonna unscrew that screw. I don't know if you can see where I'm going in there. I'm gonna unscrew that. I'm gonna set her down. And at this point, I should be able to pull this guy off. It comes up to the bottom. It actually goes through the metal axle, and then it goes out the top of this rubber stopper. Whoa. I almost spilled my coffee. Okay. This is good. Now this is what you should have remaining here. Is this little metal axle. And I don't know if you can see the hole very well right there, but there's a hole through that metal axle. All right, so now we have our old string. There we go. And now we got to put the new string in. Now the new string here, as with any string, the end of it is all frayed. And this isn't going to work. So what we're going to have to do is sharpen it up a touch. Now, I could probably take a little bit off, but this was cut not that long ago. And here's where sometimes I use the pliers. I'm gonna like pinch and pull after I get this melted, but sometimes it just dries too quick. So I'm gonna literally melt the end. So the other option is, I got these nice metal pliers here. I'm gonna melt the end of this. And essentially what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna push down with the lighter and turn the string at the same time. And essentially, I'm gonna make a nice sharp point out of the end of that string. And that's gonna be really important for getting that thing back through there. I don't know if you can see how I made it pointy now. This is what the other end looked like. Well, not that bad, but. So what we've done so far is this rubber guy here. This was on the rest. We undid the screw that was in here in the top. We pulled this off. I forgot that I should have cut off the flattened end on the string before pulling it through. But anyway, I pulled this off, and you can see how the string went through the axle. We got the string out. Now we have to get the string back in through all this. Now, my recommendation is going to be on this little rubber doohickey here, we now have a big hole and we have a small hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pointy end of my string and I'm going to go through the small hole first. Because trying to go back out through that small hole is going to be the devil. All right. And once I see it in there, I'm going to take my small Allen wrench and kind of push it up. I've never gone through the big hole in before and tried to push it up, but I need to push that string up. Ooh, I almost had it. So it goes up and out of the center hole. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. I'm so close. Yeah, there we go. Now I pull it through. All right, you don't have to pull it. You don't want to pull all the way through. All right, so now going back to our rest, okay? You got the forks. And you have this axle sticking out the back. Well, when the forks are down, so see how this is parallel? So this is how it would be affixed to your bow. Forks are down. You want to go through the bottom of it because we're going backwards. We're going to go through the bottom of it, just like this. And now what we got to do is the hard part. I've got to go up through the bottom. So we went in through the small hole, out the center of the rubber guy, up through the axle when the forks are laying down. Now I've got to go back through this thing. I'm going to go back through where the string came out and then out through that big hole. And that's usually I get pretty lucky on this one and it just comes out. All right, so now I pull. And as I'm pulling, I'm going to shove that axle into the center of that. I'll pull a little more. If I pull on both sides, I want to get that on there. Might have it. All right, now we have a string that goes in. We went in through the little, out through the center, through the axle, back into the center of the rubber thing, and out through the big hole. Snugged her down tight, and now we got this thing through here. So I almost made a boo-boo there. So the long part of your cord should be coming out where the screw is. The stubby part of your cord should be here on the other side, on where the small hole is. So I was pulling my string through the wrong way, so I'm going to melt this down. When it gets all melty and cool looking, maybe on fire, I'm going to smush it just to make sure that thing don't go through. But that's just an extra assurance there. So now we got our cord. We should be able to stick it through the cable on our bow and have a working QAD HDX rest. Stay tuned for my future video where I will show how to install the QAD onto a white Ventum. This is Bo Dad. I'm out.